Just 3 minutes to go then before race 2 in Moto3 Junior. It is Barcelona who gets another chance from Paul. He's joined on the front row by Leonardo Zani and k.ramadhipa. Behind them on row 2, Planck, Cano and Jaroslav Karapushin. Then it's Giulia Pugliese, Kerr Martinez, and we are just moments away from getting this race 2 underway. Everyone taking their positions. Zani, who of course won last time out, takes P2. A good spot on the front row. The green flag waving at the back. We'll have the lights on in just a moment. There they are. They're off and we are racing in Moto3 Junior, and Barcelona gets away so well yet again. It's a long straight though, and he's got Leonardo Zani just behind him. Who's going to get the right line going into turn 1 here? Who's going to take advantage of the slipstream? It is Zani who gets away best and takes the lead as we go to turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, a good start from Zani as he took the lead of the race ahead of Barcelona. A couple of the Aspa riders were opting not to go to the right-hand side of the track on that run into turn 1, opting to stick to the left, and they've come out of that P3, 4 and 5.
Yeah, it would be very interesting to see exactly what's happening there as the Aspa riders go side by side once again. Carlos Cano, just so impressive, as is Giulia Pugliese and Jaroslav Karapushin.
A bit of debris coming off.
Just lost something there.
Yeah, a lot of debris coming off the back of one of the, or the side of one of the bikes there, so the marshals will have time to go and clear that now. But yeah, it is Zani leading from Barcelona and Pugliese, Cano in P4 as we head into the third sector of this opening lap.
Yeah, we're going to go through turn 9 shortly, and then there's the rundown to turn 10, which we saw being so important in the previous race. Will it be so again? Is anyone going to make a move early on here? Or are we going to see a more conservative affair?
From Zani, it looks like no. He has bolted on this opening lap. He's 7 tenths clear heading into this final sector and leaving everyone else to squabble for track position behind him.
Which is actually something we didn't see in the opening race. That's very interesting that he's pulling away already. He must just prefer to ride alone, I suppose.
If it works, it works. Barcelona will need to start closing that gap though, because he's under pressure from Pugliese and Cano.
Carlos Cano on the inside of his teammate, Giulia Pugliese there. Absolutely incredible stuff at the exit of turn 14.
Just to note that the yellow flag that was out at turn 4 for that debris has been cleared. So all good to go racing there. Again, different lights. It's Pugliese down the timing tower as Zani continues to impress out in front. He's 8 tenths clear of Cano in second and Pugliese in P3. Ramadhipa P4. Barcelona, well, he'll be hoping to move up the order from P5.
Yeah, it is Edu Gutierrez there, who's gone down the exit of turn 2, it looks like. I mean, it's a very tricky corner to deal with. We've seen it time and time again over the course of the last 30 years, really. It's a corner that can catch anyone out. And when you're in a race as competitive as a Moto3 Junior race, well, it's almost to be expected.
Yeah, it is a tricky corner at the best of times. We just see as Cano defends his P2 position, but Zani's lead is now over a second. If these guys want to stop him doing the double, they need to work together and catch up to the back of him, because at the moment, he is pulling away from them.
Yeah, he is, but meanwhile, k.ramadhipa has overtaken Giulia Pugliese with a fantastic little move there at the hairpin as we approach turn 14. Who's going to come out well here? Who's going to take advantage of the slipstream? We know how important it is. Who's going to be taking what line? I mean, anything could be happening here early on.
The one thing for Zani is he is now 1.3 seconds clear. So any slipstream that he is giving his rivals is not going to be as effective as the one that, for example, Cano, Ramadhipa, Pugliese are giving to their rivals. So Zani, with the fastest lap of the race, a 1 minute 48.5, was half a second quicker than Pugliese and around 2 tenths quicker than Ramadhipa. So he is just bolting at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like he's very happy to just ride alone out there as well. So Leonardo Zani leading, and he's got a gap of 1.324 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, just building and building that lead, and the more these guys squabble over P2, the better it is for the number 57.
Yeah, Ramadhipa on the inside on Pugliese there, just not quite close enough to make the move. It is currently Cano who is in P2, and there we have Barcelona who does make the move on Ramadhipa on the inside at turn 5. He moves ahead and takes a second for the other riders to pull into the camera shot there, because Zani's lead is just that extensive at the moment. He's got quite a gap.
It's now up to
1.6 seconds.
Yeah, up to 1.6 seconds now. And again, the more these guys are fighting over P2, the more he'll just keep extending that lead, and then they won't catch him using the slipstream. I mean, you can see the gap now. It's huge, and he's able to take a normal racing line. The other riders are having to squabble over track position as Cano looks to defend his P2 around the outside, and he's able to do so from his teammate. But again, the lead now for Zani up to 1.8.
Well, Guillaume Planks has moved up to P4 there with a fantastic move. He's just behind Bujosa. Oh, P5. Zani's so far ahead, I almost miscounted him. We're coming out of turn 14 then. And again, we're going to see various lines here adopted by riders. As you mentioned there, Zani's so far ahead that all this bickering behind doesn't really affect him too much. Now we have Sullivan Moundy making the move on Remy San Juan, pulling ahead.
Zani's lead is just around it was 2 seconds. Now it's come down to about 1.8 on this run. And it's big battle there for P2. Yeah. One of the riders getting held up on the apex of turn 1.
I think it was Guillaume Planck who just tried to make his move, wasn't able to do it, and then just
there was a crash.
We've just seen a crash at the front there. Sparks flying in sector 2. The yellow flag is out of turn 3. I think that might be Zani.
It is Zani. Zani has crashed from P1. He was pushing hard, but he has gone down at turn 3 in the early stages of this race, and Pugliese has inherited P1.
Well, it's just, it leaves you breathless, doesn't it? Because anything can happen in a Moto3 junior race. He's going to be so frustrated with that. He was leading, and he was leading comfortably. He wasn't under any pressure, and it does look like he might have hurt his hand a bit there. Well, he's able to move it. But yeah, they'll be so disappointed in that Mamovan box right now, because Zani had put in such a performance so far. He was about 2 seconds ahead, and now it is Pugliese who's leading, and it's going to be anyone's game now, because this is one big leading pack.
It was. Zani had the advantage of that 2 second margin, so he didn't need to be pushing as hard as he was at that point. But the main thing is he looks okay. He's walking away. Pugliese inheriting the lead, but that battle for the win is coming down. We're just going to see the end of it, and I would imagine he's just lost the front going through turn 3, and yeah, that's the end of his race. Yeah. We'll see it better here. No, it's a huge high side.
Big high
side for Zani. So yeah, no wonder he was just checking his wrist after that, because that was a heavy landing on the outside of turn 3.
Well, hopefully he's all right. He's privately wounded after crashing out of this race. But the race does go on, and it is currently Julien Pugliese who is leading, and currently leading in the live championship as well. He's currently followed by Carlos Cano, both on track and without, as Ramadhipa tries to make a move on Cano there. As it stands, Ramadhipa would now move into P4 as well. Zani, and another big crash there at turn 3. Yellow flags are out.
That was another big high side for, that was Tinez, I believe. Number 77 is the one dropping down our timing tower, so I think it was him. That was another big high side on the exit of turn 3.
Ramadhipa going through on the inside, and able to make it stick there. Bujosa holding on to P4, but the pressure is building for both the Honda Asia Dream Racing Junior Team riders.
Just to note that Nicholas also crashed at turn 14. There are yellow flags out. We just see Tinez here, obviously getting some assistance, because that was another big hit. Yep. But Nicholas also crashed at turn 14.
Well, as we approach turn number 10, is anyone going to try and make a move here? Pugliese, Ramadhipa again on the inside, lunging in.
Travis Borg has made progress as well. He's up into P3 at the moment on the number 23 machine, as he fights for a podium. He's just behind Pugliese and Cano.
Yeah, he's right on the back wheel of Cano as well. As we approach turns 13 and 14, it could be a prime position to try and take advantage of the slipstream as they emerge from turn 14 here.
He could, yeah. He has the advantage of a double slipstream from the CF Moto Aspar riders ahead of him. But obviously, we've seen that both Pugliese and Cano will happily defend into turn 1 under braking. And yeah, we'll just see what happens. Pugliese still leading. It's Ramadhipa who's actually making progress, moving up into P2.
Bujosa piling on the pressure, as is Ramadhipa, just held up there. But Bujosa now moves into P2, just behind Pugliese, and that's relegated Carlos Cano down to P5.
Cano down into P5, and there's a bit of a gap there forming between the lead 3 and the rest of the pack, but you would imagine that will close up quite quickly. It's Cano in P4, sorry.
Yeah, Cano in P4. Pugliese is still leading. Bujosa giving it absolutely everything, and Ramadhipa, closed out the front row of the grid, is really giving it absolutely everything. He's going to move on the inside here at turn 5. Not quite close enough on the exit.
Just get a replay here. That is the crash for Tinez earlier at turn 3. So again, very similar from what we saw from Zani earlier, apologies. Yeah, high side through turn 3. It's a corner where you're on the power for a long time, just trying to build up that speed. So it does happen quite a lot. But yeah, another hefty hit there for Tinez.
Yeah. Well, there's 2 consecutive races where we've seen not just race win contenders, but title contenders crashing out. I mean, it's anyone's game. It
really is anyone's game, and it isn't a surprise because they're all pushing so hard. They want to get their season off to a superb start, and especially if you're then making amends from race 1, for example, you're going to be pushing even harder. Zani's is different because he was 2 seconds out in front. He didn't need to be pushing that hard at that point because everyone else was squabbling. He had the advantage, but obviously he felt he was in his rhythm and was able to keep pushing, and unfortunately for the Italian, he crashed out. Yeah, well, there's a lesson in racecraft to be learned there, I think. It's a lesson that many riders struggle to learn. It's a very important one, as Bujosa does make the move there on Cano. He is ahead. Bujosa running in P3 then against Cano again. As we said earlier, their rivalry continuing in a new class on new bikes. But it's the same story with those two, just fighting it out. Yeah, absolutely, and it looks like Bujosa's hungry for more as well. He looked up on the inside of Ramadhipa, saw that there was an opportunity on that particular corner, but going into turn 5, is he going to try and make the move there? It looks like he's just going to lay off a bit there. He might be a bit cautious given what happened earlier as well. Yeah, understandably so. It looked like Planke was just moving forward there as well, getting ahead of, or moving out into P7 at turn 5. Yeah, with Ojuara into P6 as well. So fantastic from the Japanese rider. A great performance so far, sort of quietly moving up the order, taking advantage of the riders fighting around him to make sure he's in contention. Yeah, as we approach turn 10, we've seen so many moves made here before. Is anyone going to try and make the move here? Well, on the outside there, just a bit wide. Looks like things are as they were. Pugliese is so good on the brakes at turn 10 and turn 1. It's very difficult to pass him unless you're pretty much ahead of him before the braking zone. He's very strong. Yeah, absolutely. Pugliese has been showing us over the course of this weekend why he's someone to really hold in very, very... I think that was potentially showing for Cano, and it's not wrong. There's a huge group fighting for this win. As Ramadhipa looks on the inside of Pugliese, but no, the Italian able to defend once again, and Bujosa had a look at Ramadhipa but couldn't make that move stick either. No, he had a long look, didn't he, there? It looked like he'd almost made it, but Ramadhipa did so well to just hold him off. Excellent riding from Ramadhipa there. Very good riding, very good defensive riding as well, and Bujosa's now under pressure from Travis Borg. Just going to have a look at a replay, a slow motion replay of all of the riders braking at turn 1, and Bujosa Pugliese, sorry, coming out ahead, but Ramadhipa and Bujosa side by side through turn 1. Yeah. Turn 1 is delivering so much action here today in Montmeló. Absolutely fantastic to see as we go into sector 3 here at turn 7 and 8. Great curb cam, just to show how close these riders are through turn 7 and 8, which is a very tricky part of the track. Turn 9 is another challenging part for very different reasons. It's uphill, it's a bit of a blind apex. But yeah, heading down into turn 10, the slipstream is crucial, but Pugliese still able to defend from Bujosa. Ramadhipa having a look on the inside, but unable to get close. And Travis Borg as well, remaining in P4 with Cano side by side there with Plank, but it's Plank that comes out on top. Yeah, Plank made a move there. I think he managed to actually get a bit of a two for one. He overtook 2 riders at the same time. Absolutely fantastic work from Guillaume Plank. The French rider showing us why he's really battling at the front there, because he's not afraid to get his elbows out and make a move like that where the opportunity presents itself. Everyone is fast. so you need to be able to fight as aggressively as you can. Into turn 1, it's Barroso moving into P2. Pugliese staying in the lead with Plank in P1, and we're just seeing there's a yellow flag out at turn 3, which has appeared on our timing screen. So we're just going to see if there's anything that's happened, or maybe it's debris on track, but it's quickly gone in, so not entirely sure what that was for.
Yellow flag removed at turn 3. Didn't even realise it was there. As we approach turn 5 and another opportunity for someone to make a move. That tight left-hander. Plank again, he always seems to be taking that inside line. This time he's managed to take the lead. Is he going to be able to make it stick? It looks like he is. Oh, what a move there from Guillaume Plank, the Frenchman. He's lost the lead, but he's still in P2. Pugliese fighting back straight away, but Pugliese giving as good as he gets.
Pugliese was wide on the entry into 7, which allowed Plank to take the lead through turn 8, which is a very, very unusual place to make a move, but that has bunched everyone up as well.
Well, it's an unusual place to make a move, but he's made it work so well there. Absolutely incredible stuff. As we go through turn 10, Plank is leading now into sector 4.
Yeah, Plank with the lead ahead of Pugliese. Barroso in P3, Ramadhipa is just behind, but turn 13 and 14 are going to be crucial, and when we cross the line to start the next lap, it will be just 5 laps to go.
Yeah, I think it's almost time for us to start looking at exactly who's crossing the line first as well, given how close the previous race was.
Yeah, I mean, as they crossed the line here, it was 0.081 between Plank and Pugliese. So Plank was able to hold that lead from turn 14 to the start-finish straight.
Well,
Ramadhipa on the inside, turn 1 looks to make a move, but Barroso is able to go back through turn 1, but can't get through on turn 2. So Ramadhipa moves into P3.
Yeah, and Plank lost out massively on the strip stream there on the start-finish straight.
Also, just to note that Travis Borg was a big mover in that fight as well. He's moved up into 2nd, although that could be about to become 3rd, as Barroso on the inside at turn 4 makes the move stick on the rider from Malta.
Yeah, Pugliese leading into turn 5. Ramadhipa looking to move on the inside, looking to try and take 3rd. Is he going to be able to get a good line out of it? No, he's not. Travis Borg holding on there. Yeah,
Borg was able to hold on to that P3 for now, but Ramadhipa is going to have a good run on him through, well, into turn 9 and into turn 10, you would think. But the number 23 might be able to hold on under braking, because Ramadhipa is also under pressure from Plank.
And now they're running towards turn 10. We've seen so much action here. This is where we saw Guillaume Plank make that move earlier. This time he's not in the right position to do so.
As we said, Borg was able to had enough to defend from Ramadhipa into turn 10, but Ramadhipa at turn 11 has a look on the inside. That would have been brave, but he's not able to make it stick, and it's cost him a couple of bike lengths to Borg, but he'll be able to make those up on the runs through turn 13 and 14.
And again, it's been so interesting to see, however it exits from turn 14, who's going to take advantage of the slipstream. We've got just 4 laps left now.
Again, Pugliese was able to lead over the line coming out of that final corner. So I think the run to the line, unless they're really, really close, should be with the rider who leads coming out of turn 14. As we see Carl push in on the inside of Travis Borg, looking for P3, unable to make the move stick under braking at turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, into sector 2 now. It's still Pugliese who leads from Barroso. Travis Borg just behind, who's done so well to get himself into a podium position. Is he going to be able to maintain it with the amount of pressure building behind him? He's got the likes of Carbushin, Planks, Carlos Cano, Keandre Ramadhipa, Ojuara, all behind him, and any one of them in with a chance of finishing on the podium or even with a race win.
Yeah, this is anyone's game with 4 laps to go, as there's a move there from Plank on the inside, unable to make it stick on Borg. Borg retaining P4 from the French rider.
Yeah, he's just too heavy on the brakes there and just allowed Borg to roll around the outside of the move.
Yeah, as we say, Pugliese still leading ahead of Barroso, just a 10th or so in it. Carbushin up into P3. But again, it's to run into turn 10. This is where Barroso has a chance to get alongside the Italian for P1, but we know how good the number 31 is under braking. He doesn't really give riders a sniff, and it's Carbushin making the move on Barroso for P2. Is he able to make that one stick through turns 11 He'll have the outside into 12. It's going to be tight between the pair.
Absolutely incredible stuff here in Barcelona. Once again, entering sector 4, and we see it chop and change. So much action.
Always delivers action, does the circuit to Barcelona, Catalunya. Barroso with the run through turn 14 on Pugliese. Is he going to be able to make the slipstream count on this time? We have 3 laps to go. The race really reaching a crescendo here in Barcelona.
Well, it's been a crescendo from start to finish here, really. Absolutely incredible as we see all the lines the riders are preparing to take. It's Pugliese who leads. Cano tries to make a move there.
It's Travis Borg moves into P2.
Cano moves into P4 as well.
Borg on the move through turns 1, moving up into second place, and he's already on the back of Pugliese. Will he be able to make a move into turn 4? No, Barrosa's on the inside of the number 23, so it's Barroso who is making the late move once again, moving into second place.
Yeah, just forcing Borg out wide there as well. That could provide a bit of room for Cano. He now is able to take advantage of it and move ahead at turn 5. No! It looked like he was almost able to do so, but Borg holds off Carlos Cano.
Borg was able to take the tighter line through turn 5, and that just enabled him to keep position. Again, the curb camera here showing just how close this field is heading into the final couple of laps.
Yeah, absolutely incredible stuff. Currently Pugliese who's leading from Barroso, with Travis Borg occupying the final spot. No, it's now Guillaume Planks who's into P3.
Yeah, Borg has dropped to P4. I didn't quite see what happened there, but the rider from Malta, is in P4 behind Plank. Karpushin, who was fighting in this lead group a couple of laps ago, is now down in P8.
P8, still part of the group, but at the wrong end of it, I think it's fair to say, as we prepare to watch the riders emerge from turn 14 and hit the start-finish straight again. It is currently Pugliese who leads. Barroso looking to take advantage of that slipstream.
Yeah, Barroso's in a perfect position to take the slipstream advantage with 2 laps to go on the run into turn 1. But Plank is on the inside, as is Borg, and it looks like it's Borg who is making the moves on the inside and the braking at turn 1, and the 23 moves back into second place.
Yeah, absolutely sensational stuff from Travis Borg there. Unable to get ahead of Giulio Pugliese, but he is ahead of everyone else behind him.
He's taking an inside line through 3 as well, which will give him the inside for turn 4. Is he close enough to make that move for P1, or is he going to have to defend? Well, neither really. He stays in second. Running into turn 5 though, the number 23, the inside line is blocked for him. Now Plank. He has to defend from Plank, as we see Cano.
Carlos Cano as well. Oh, a bit of a moment there for Borg. Just adjusting himself. As Plank looked to be setting himself up to make a move there as we go through turn 7 and 8. Just readjusting.
That's a brave move from Plank on the inside of turn 9 to get ahead of Borg for P2. That is an incredible move from the French rider.
As we approach turn 10, once again, for the penultimate time.
And Plank goes again for the lead on Pugliese. He's able to keep the tighter line.
Oh, no, he is as well.
And Borg moves into P2 provisionally. It was a big moment for Ramadhipa on the curb. He goes slightly wide. It's a bit chaotic behind. So it's Borg who moves into P3 with Plank and Pugliese ahead of him. Ramadhipa in P4, heading on to the final lap of this race.
Yeah, the final lap, and as you mentioned before, an absolute crescendo. Plank moving into P1 at such a vital time. He's not going to be able to take advantage of any slipstream here. He's going to need to try and pull away as much as he can as we power down this 1 kilometre straight in Barcelona. And it does look like Pugliese has managed to get ahead as we approach turn 1. Who's going to be able to battle in this battle for first? How many riders do you need? It's Pugliese who gets ahead going into turn 1, into turn 2. And it's Travis Borg who takes P2, Barroso just behind in P3.
Borg was able to stay on the outside through turns 1 and give him a good position through 2 to keep P2 ahead of Barroso, but Barroso is close to the number 23. Is he going to make the move into turn 4? No, so Borg holds it for now.
And Plank has dropped down to P8, so he started this lap just about in P1, and he's finishing it in P8. it looks like, for the time being. There's still plenty more action to come.
Barroso on the inside of Borg at turn 5. That moves him into P2. He's got a couple of attempts to make up on Pugliese, but he'll have the run
into... Watch out for Cano as well. There goes Travis Borg. Down as we approach turn 10, the hairpin. We've seen so many moves here made before. Plank in previous laps. This time around,
Barroso's wide. Barroso is wide. That is a promoted Borg into P2. He'll have a good run through on Pugliese behind, and there is a crash behind. But we need to see the leaders to see how they are getting on through the final couple of corners.
They're going through turn 13 now. Oh, we have 2 riders down. They both seem to be okay. We're about to be hitting turn 14. It is Pugliese who's leading. He's got Travis Borg just behind. Barroso's not out of this yet, though, nor is Carlos Cano. How is he going to finish? This is neck and neck. Who's claiming the win? Well, 2 riders out, both Travis Borg and Giulio Pugliese claim the win there. It's another photo finish. The Aspar team seems to think it's Pugliese who's won. I have to say, on our timing sheets, it looks like that is the case as well, with a gap of just 0.091 seconds. Absolutely incredible stuff from Giulio Pugliese. Travis Borg won't believe it. It could have gone any way there.
It really could have gone any way, but it does look like Pugliese has taken victory. And you say less than a tenth between him and Borg, with Barroso not far away either. He was just 0.14 away from victory. It was an incredible, incredible race. The crash that we saw at the end of during that last lap, that was Sullivan Mousy and Remy San Juan at turn 10.
Well, they'll be tremendously frustrated that their race came to an end. It's such a late point after really having quite a fantastic weekend, both of them, I think.
Yeah, Mousy was a bit disappointed because he had a crash in practice yesterday and was aiming to get through Q1 but was unable to do so, but had battled his way up into the point, so yeah, he'll be a bit disappointed it ended in the gravel trap.
Well, it does look like Pugliese is our worthy winner as he celebrates with a wheelie here in Barcelona as this second race in the Moto3 Junior World Championship comes to a thrilling conclusion. Well, he'll be making his way to Parc Fermé. Barroso will finish on the podium as well. P3. Absolutely fantastic finish for him after his opening race of the campaign came to such a tricky end with that high side at turn